I am thrilled to have the amazing honor of making this special introduction. CBRE has been involved with Gift of Life for many years, and we are so lucky to be able to participate in these life-changing moments. As Tim said, the highlight of every Steps for Life 5K is the incredible moment when a donor and recipient meet for the very first time. Even though we are celebrating from a distance this year, we could not have this event without such a unique and special experience, so a virtual meeting is the next best thing. Tonight, we would like to introduce you to an incredible man, Bernie. He is 66 years old and a resident of Houston, Texas. Bernie owns a business that provides management consulting, asset management, and investment services. Welcome, Bernie.
Hi, pleasure to be here.
We're absolutely thrilled that you're doing so well and able to share this special moment with us. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling well, thank you.
Fabulous, that's great to hear. I know you're very excited to meet your donor. First, let's tell everyone joining us a little bit about you. Nearly 10 years ago, you underwent treatment for acute leukemia, and we were on the verge of being considered fully recovered. Then, in 2018, your white blood cell count began to drop. It became clear that a blood stem cell transplant would be your best option. You were elated to learn that you had a matching donor in the Gift of Life Registry. You received your transplant in July 2019 at MD Anderson Cancer Center and told us by the time your stem cells arrived, you felt quite relieved. You mentioned that it was hard not to imagine the plane that was carrying your stem cells falling out of the sky or some other logistical disaster taking place. But as we can see, all went well, and thanks to your donor, you look wonderful as you join us today. Bernie, I would like to tell you a little bit about your donor. You'll be happy to hear that the note you sent him made it through all the channels, and he not only receives it, he treasures it. Your donor joined Gift of Life's registry in 2014 in Jerusalem, thanks to our partnership with Birthright Israel. He felt it was important to volunteer as a donor because we all have the responsibility to care for one another. He is 27 years old, and like you, he lives in the Houston area. We actually estimate that the two of you live about 20 miles apart. He owns a Chick-fil-A franchise, and when not at work, he loves sports, bowling, reading, and yoga. Your donor hopes more than anything that you are doing well and staying healthy, but he also really hopes that you aren't a New York Yankees fan. Bernie, the time has come, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to your donor, David.
Hello.
Hi, David.
Hey there.
So you live in Houston?
Yes, sir. I live on
Amazing.
the time. What about yourself?
Also, I live near the Heights in Timber Grove, actually.
Oh, wow. No way. That's so cool. This is you should see my face when she said you're from Houston. I lit up. That's the coolest thing. I had no idea. That's so cool.
So I guess my plane wasn't going to fall out of the sky after all.
Right? Oh, man.
I was really sweating it, I'll tell you. You know, they take your bone marrow out before the stem cells arrive if you're getting a fresh transplant, and so I'm sitting there watching my numbers drop and go down to zero and saying, well, in fact, I asked, well, so what's the contingency here?
But you look great. You sound awesome. I mean, I've been excited for this for a while. And she said your note. I actually have it right here. I keep it with me a lot, so it stays in my little treasure chest in my nightstand, and I'm always going to keep it. It was a beautiful note, and very happy to be a part of your journey, and I'm hoping it's forever this time.
I'm very appreciative of your generosity. Needless to say, I am, my parent and my family is my wife, my kids.
This might be a weird thing, but if we can get dinner sometime, I would love to be able to meet your family. And
if I ever leave the house.
In person. Right? Whenever this COVID nonsense ends, I would love to meet you in person.
Well, this is truly amazing. I would love to visit with you and spend a little time chatting, just kind of catching up. But so, what motivated you to do this, to join Gift of Life and give a donation?
So I've always had this weird thing about donating blood. When I was like 14, 15, I had my parents take me to go donate. I don't know why, I just always liked to do it. And so I donated quite a bit just throughout my life. And then when I was on Birthright, they kind of said, hey, you're about to go to the airport to go back home, but let us swab your cheek really quick and you can donate bone marrow one day. And I was 2014, so I was 21. And I was like, sure, why not? And I never thought I'd get called. And they called me and said, hey, you're a match. Why not go for it? And I said, sure, I'll get tested. And here we are. So kind of just trickled down from donating blood to plasma to stem cells. So it's, never thought I'd do it, but here we are.
I'm very grateful for that. Was it very arduous to deal with? Did you have to do
like compared to what you went through? It really was not. The biggest difficulty was just scheduling, to be honest, just because work and all of that. But just a couple shots prior, went sat in the chair for a few hours, watched some movies, and that was that. So my side was easy. I'm happy that it was that way. More people do it too. Helps people.
So it was a good match, very close match. I think you even had my blood type.
I did not know that. Honestly, I didn't know any of that. So we were really close.
Yeah, in fact, it was 14 for 14 on the alleles, and it's usually 10 for 10, but now they're up to 14 that they look at, and then they look at blood type. They look at whether you're male or female. They look
be positive.
Yeah, exactly.
Always happy. Wait, so let me ask you this: how are you around cats now? Are you allergic to cats now? Because that's my allergy. They told me you might inherit my allergies.
Oh, that's funny. I was going to ask you about allergies because we have a cat, and I noticed I'm sneezing more around the cat.
That's me. I'm sorry.
And I was curious about that. I had no allergies or anything like that, so.
That's crazy. They told me that might happen. So yeah, look at cats. Even though I had two when I was with my parents back in the day. We had some cats, and yeah,
interesting.
Itchy mouth, itchy ears, little watery eyes. Yeah.
No, just a little sneezing on it.
Nothing too bad, but dang. So I'm sorry. My apologies.
No, that's okay. It's really not anything that you'd notice.
Awesome.
We're both wearing the same shirts. Would you be able to show us?
Sure.
So these are the kind of miracles that life is all about, and every person. Gift of life wants every person who needs a transplant to be able to find a donor. So I wanted to thank you, Bernie and David, for sharing this very important moment in your lives with us. As we all go out and run our 5Ks, we hope that you remember Bernie and David and know that your support helps us make even more miracle matches.